welcome back to a special edition of Tunnel Vision. I'm your host, Ryan Abraham, joined alongside triple-double, Mr. Connor Morrissette, and the man of the weekend, Jamaal Jarrett. You call him Ja, the 70-yard interception return for a touchdown in West Lafayette against Purdue. We just saw the intro to the Tunnel Vision. We need to add that. That has to be one of the highlights of the season for sure. We got to put that. That's got to go in the intro. If you're okay with that, we'll put it in the intro.
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome to the show. Thanks again for coming on. We had you on back in April, kind of talking about the transfer process and everything from Georgia to USC. And obviously now we're into the season. USC's 3-0. You had that huge play. I do want to thank House of Victory for setting up this interview. I'm sorry, there's a new one we're doing. So home game this weekend against Michigan State, and there's 4 coming up on Saturdays against Big Ten opponents. And the Ultimate Tailgate, powered by the Rex, is going on. So you can get your tickets now over at houseofvictory.com if you want to check it out. houseofvictory.com/tailgate. I know, Ja, you can't go to those tailgates, but Connor and I have been there, and they're good. I'm sure you've eaten Rex food, but man, those tailgates are great.
Right, for sure. For sure.
Have you been to the Rex, or is it more like the
Yes,
cater
sir.
stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, the cater stuff.
Yeah. What do you get there?
Man, the steak. I'm going to tell you now. I'm tell you right now, that steak's something else.
All right. Are you a medium rare guy? What do you like?
Yeah, that's me
All
right
right.
there.
That's good. We don't have to say it. That's good. Welcome in, Connor. How you doing? You ready for the tailgate on Saturday?
I'm ready.
It's a late one, 5 p.m. this Saturday because it's an 8 p.m. kickoff.
Yeah, later game, but I saw the email and the message that Lincoln Riley and Chad Bowden sent out to all the season ticket holders, and they're asking for people to come out late and support the team. So I think a good turnout will be there. It'll be exciting.
Yeah. And speaking of feeding people, I know you've worked with the Dream Chasers, doing some lunches. I got a photo here of it. This was some of the work you've done with House of Victory to help the student athletes at USC. Maybe if you want to kind of talk about that a little bit, Ja.
Yes, sir. It was a great experience. Me and Eli both transferring in. It was a great experience for us to, really break down and get to know each other outside of a football standpoint. And then I was there. It was pretty much a team bonding thing for me. And it was a great thing for us to, help for about 500 people. We served about 500 people that day. And it was just a great experience to, get to know my teammates from an outside of football standpoint and, give back to the community.
Speaking of great experiences, I think we're just going to start off right now. Just full disclosure, I was watching our, Gavin Morris, who, works over at USC. He had a little story on his Instagram, and he's spying on you, watching yourself score a touchdown. And I guess the angle, Chris Trevino for our site shot that video, and I guess you hadn't seen that angle before. I'll play it for you now. Maybe you want to, you can defend yourself with Gavin. Sure. He kind of was calling you out a little bit, but here's
Gavin got me, he caught me red-handed.
But here's I would watch this too if I did this, but here's the play.
I'm saying, you feel me? Yeah, it was so clear. That's what stood out to me. I was like, bro, there's no way that's me running the ball. I kept rewinding it, and I was like, dang, bro, like this actually happened. Like it feels like it didn't even happen. You know what I mean? But it was awesome.
That you get that little. Oh, go ahead.
Yes,
yeah, well, here comes the celebration. Was that planned?
Man, like I'm not gonna lie, those big boys. That one wasn't just for me. It was for all the big boys around the country. So, man, I had to put on for the big boys, representing all the linemen out there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I cut the video off before the full celebration there, but you got a little belly rub in there.
Yes, sir.
Gentry waving bye to everybody, and you got that little push off at the end. I was wondering, I'm like, is there no like receivers or something that are gonna catch him?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking I was gonna get hawked down. Like, there's no way somebody's catching me. And then my boy Aunt Lou ran next to me. He was like, "No, you got it.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, he got mad at me though. He was like, "Put the ball down."
Oh yeah, you did put the ball up at like the 10, and you brought it down at least.
Finish at the cross. That's what Coach Riley teaches us. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, man, not today, bro.
And you got that little push off at the guy. I don't know if it was a running back or something that came by. Like, you're like, get off me. It was kind of a funny thing to see that one.
Yes, sir. So I already crossed the line, and I seen somebody coming to get me still. I was like, there's no way. Like, come on, man. But yeah.
In those moments, I'm sure it's hard to remember everything you're taught, of course. So I don't blame you.
It happened so fast. Like, I just remember catching the ball. Like, everything else was just instinct, for real.
So 55 was the only one who really had a chance outside of 13 who, tried to get there. But 55, another bigger guy, you're bigger than him, and
Yes,
you
sir.
ran way faster than he did. When you're watching that back, where you're like, yeah, I got the jets. I'm going way quicker than that guy.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I could have ran faster. Like running in practice and stuff, all the pursuit drills that we do as a team. I definitely feel like I could have picked it up more. But in the moment, I was just so surprised it even happened. But it was just a blessing.
Yeah, there's a bunch of firsts in that game. Obviously, USC's first ever Big Ten real road win. Beat UCLA last year, but this year,
Yeah, they told me that. I didn't know this is our first road win.
yeah,
So
first.
it felt even more to be a part of that. I was like, dang, 'cause this is my first time putting on the white jersey. I was stoked about that. But this is our first away win, and I feel like our team is just the bonding has just been becoming stronger. And we went out there and executed.
Yeah, well, that was a big win there, and then the first time that we can remember that long of a delay for weather. Just USC doesn't get a lot because Southern California. There was one in
Exactly.
2012 for a little bit at halftime, but nothing like a 3-hour delay. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit. But the one thing I was trying to research, and one of my former SID buddies at USC, we were texting, and we think you're the largest human being to ever score a touchdown for USC. And I think we talked about this a little bit after the game.
That's dope.
Mike Patterson in 2003, but he's like 285 or something. So he scored, and Jay Tufele did a few years ago against Utah. But we don't have like official records, but it seems like there's just, someone as big as you has never scored a touchdown at USC. So, I don't know, maybe in college
That's
football,
awesome.
you probably are the biggest person in college football this year and maybe the last several. I don't know, but I don't know if that means anything to you, but it's been funny to kind of talk about afterwards.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever scored a touchdown in your life before this, Jamal?
Madden, yeah. That's about it. I caught an interception in my senior year of high school, but I never really. I was on the way to the crib, and then the quarterback got my knee, so I was like,
Oh, no
right.
way.
Yeah, he tackled me, but I was like, yeah, that's
Because
it.
sometimes guys will get like come in as a fullback or use a different thing, but that's not so. That's amazing. This is your first like
It's a
career
blessing
organized
for sure.
touchdown. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Because
congratulations.
I do remember after scoring, I thought it was gonna get called back. You can see me walking and dropping the ball. I'm like, did it count? I'm looking around, and then I see the Carlos Nicholson in front of me, and I'm like, I think this counts. So that's when I decided to hit the belly celebration.
I don't know what it
But
was
I
like.
did not know if it counted or not. I remember getting a flag for something, but I think it was a sideline call.
Okay. I don't know what it felt like down there. I mean, you must have been surreal, but we were in the press box and Connor and I were like, it seemed like the world stopped and like, wait, is this really happening? Is this play? Like we didn't know, like it
That's
got
hilarious.
quiet. Like, and we're like, is that like, sometimes a play goes on and you're like, oh, it's been blown dead. We weren't sure. And it just like that happened. It was like, oh my, like, I don't know, Connor, if you felt the same way. It just seemed really weird when that was going on.
Yeah,
That's dope.
100%. You certainly sucked all the air out of that building.
No, for real. Somebody sent me a clip of one of the Purdue fans, like just jaw dropped. That's crazy.
Yeah, 'cause you don't see touchdowns like that too often. So then after Danton Lynn runs out and you do the big run in with him and the handshake, and he doesn't get too animated all the time. What was the message from him? What was the message from Eric Henderson after that score?
Man, my coaches, just like anyone else that make a play, they were happy for the success. Just having the team be so unified, and like we've been really emphasizing this. With Coach True coming in and everything, just like we're on a whole new level. We're building that standard as a team, and like it was just a great moment for the whole team. I feel like.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you about, the delay was pretty crazy out there. I should have pulled a picture up, but just when you guys come out and do the warm-ups and then you have to go back into the locker room and then you're not sure what's going on. Like, what was that like for the players and just, trying to figure out, we don't know when this game is going to get started or not.
Really, Coach True emphasized sudden change. And the team has been repping that and practicing that. Like as far as from a situational standpoint in football, like you're gonna have sudden changes in life too. And there's some things that are out of your control, like for instance the weather. So it's like more of a take it to the chin type of mindset and just be ready for anything. So as a team, we embraced the weather, the break, and we were like we're ready. We're gonna stick to our goals. We're gonna stay loose. We're gonna just be ready for this game.
So in the
It was more of
post
a
game,
mentality standpoint.
yeah, in the post game, Coach Riley talked a little bit about this, but I want to hear your thoughts. And it was a good question from one of the fans. I want to shout him out. So SCV Pete on our website, he wants to know: did the players get additional food and fluids during the weather delay? What did they get? Who helped you eat everything and get everything? I'm no nutritionist, this guy says, but I'm sure they got a lot of grilled chicken and carbs. What was the delay like? Did you get another meal? Was there more Gatorade? What was that like?
Really, Miss Rachel Silva, and our staff, like they make sure we're on it with everything. They're real professional. They take their job serious, and they just make sure the players are straight as far as hydration. We had our electrolyte station. We had our right stuff package. Like they just made sure we didn't need for nothing. So it was just a blessing to have them, and like I said, with the team practicing sudden change periods and stuff like that. Like the whole team was bought into this weather thing and this break, so everyone was ready for the sudden change and the crazy breakup. Man, I felt like everyone handled it perfectly.
Yeah, and then we were talking about this last year. It seemed, especially when the team was on the road, you weren't around, but there just seemed to be, if a little bit of adversity happened, it was really hard to recover. And no one expected a 3-hour. I mean, it's never happened that we know in the history of USC football, a 3-hour delay to kickoff. Working with Tremaine Carroll, working with all the coaches and stuff in this offseason, I mean, what kind of was, I guess, the message from them that you were able to just say, hey, sudden change, we just have to adapt to what's going on here and still keep our heads about us and go play a tough game on the road? It seemed like you guys just weren't going to let anything bother you from what happened.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. This team has been doubted. This team has been through a lot together, a lot of adversity together. And just me coming in as a new player, a new teammate, and just intercepting, all the love and everything that they poured into me. It was more of like we worked too hard for this situation to let it go up for a weather break or a sudden change, scenario. Like we worked too hard to let up or forget all of our morals and everything that we worked hard for throughout the week. So we just our main goal as a team was keep your composure and go out there and execute. I feel like we did that.
I know you're still working through all the Instagram reactions and texts and stuff, but I'm sure some pretty cool people either put it on their story or reached out to you. Anyone you want to shout out? Any cool interactions you've had since this touchdown?
Really, just seeing our fan base for real. I'm not gonna lie, like I had the Georgia fan base, but the USC fan base is strong. There's a lot of families that recorded me off their TVs, and they had their whole family sitting at the couch, showing their reaction to my play and everything like that. So I just felt like it was a cool thing to just see everyone besides the people on the team, just see the play and stuff like that. And then a lot of brands hit me up as far as like Prime, the drinking brand. They want to. They really hit me up offering me like test out their products and stuff like that. I was like, that's pretty dope. And then a lot of celebrities, I can't name them right now, it's a lot of them, but a lot of celebrities followed me too. So I was like, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah,
The
we did it.
USC support, that's one thing I can say. The USC support is awesome for sure.
If you make a big, you can be a star in LA for sure. You make a big play, a
Yes,
lot of
sir.
people are going to be talking about you. We had actually a question on the message board from Hey Guy Thorne, I think. What do you have a dream NIL deal? Because, like you said, some brands have reached out to you, but is there a dream one that you would like? And it doesn't have to be associated with the interception, but is there one you'd like, some brand you'd like to work with?
Me being a bigger, taller guy, it's hard to find shoes and clothes my size on a consistent basis. So really, really, any brand that's willing to work with a big guy, I'm willing to work with y'all. You feel me? So,
So apparel though, like you
uh,
do clothes or shoes or something. Yeah.
oh yeah, oh yeah. And Nike, we train in those. So I love Nike. I would love to do something with that. But really, like I'm not really a picky guy. Whatever, I'm happy to have whatever comes my way. You feel me?
We'll try to help you get the word out with this. Hopefully, someone at one of those
Appreciate it.
companies is watching and will reach out. So, Ja, you've played with some really talented defensive linemen in your career at Georgia, at USC. I've been so impressed with Floyd Boucard and then Jakeem Stewart
That's
as
my
well.
boy. Yes,
It's
sir.
it's hard for these young guys at that position to have an impact, and both of those guys are. What have you seen from them, and just what are your thoughts on what they've been able to do at a young age?
Well, it starts off with, Coach Noah, Coach Henny, Coach Sky. Like, they're on us like white on rice, y'all. I kid you not. Like, everything you see on the field is a week of work. And really just, the standard that we've upheld as a team. And the young guys that we've been, especially the D line room, we've been, mirroring after our vets. And you can really start to see the young guys, take those vet rules. I'm talking about notebook open, eyes glued to the board, like answering questions left and right. Like, it's one of those things where you can just see them mature and see them growing up, and you can definitely see it in their game as well.
For you, 3 games in, it's obviously a much deeper defensive line. You weren't around last year, but then what was going on? So still figuring out the rotations and stuff. I mean, is the plan you want to try to get more snaps? And what's it been like sort of kind of fitting in and, figuring out what this defensive rotation is, and obviously making the most when you're in there with a big play like that?
Really just maximize your opportunity when it's given to you, type of thing. I'm not one of those big picky guys, but really it's just a blessing to be a part of this program. A blessing to really wake up every morning in California. It's just a blessing, and really Coach Riley and Coach Henny, I leave that to them as far as depth chart and everything like that. But really just playing together as a team, that's my biggest thing right there.
So many fans who want to ask you questions, so I'll try to cycle through some of the good ones here. Jay Brax 1122 wants to know, and if you don't keep track of this, that's okay. Do you have a max squat, a max bench, and a 40-yard dash time?
I ain't gonna get too deep into that, but I can say I'm very fast and very strong for my type of frame.
Yeah, the fans always love to hear about the specific benching stuff, but most guys kind of say what you said.
I'm up there for sure.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I'll say that.
I believe it. We got another one. This guy asked a couple, but first, do you have a big preference on In-N-Out or Whataburger? Have you been able to have both, and do you prefer one of the burger chains?
So with me being down south, we had Whataburger. I felt like it was pretty cool. Then my first time trying In-N-Out was when I first got here, I believe. I'm not gonna lie, In-N-Out's a pretty cool spot. I'm not gonna lie. But, they're very. I'm not gonna say they're similar, but In-N-Out is very unique. You can feel the West Side feeling with the whole In-N-Out brand out here. So it's pretty cool being able to see that culture.
Ryan, I don't know if you want to
Oh,
ask
good.
any here. I can keep them going.
Yeah, you want to do another? We can do a few more of the fan questions if you want, and then I guess we have the learner wants to know, how long did it take to learn your touchdown dance, and did you plan it?
I'm not gonna lie. Our D line unit is very creative. Like we come up with something unique every week. We just keep it in the back of our head type of thing. But like when all the guys get together outside of football, we always talk about it or act it out or just think of something. But a lot of my teammates got some of their own personal celebrations that y'all are gonna see later in the season.
All right.
Did you get to keep the football, or did you have to give it back?
The Purdue football had to go back, respectfully, but
Oh,
the
okay.
USC made sure I was cool with my game ball. So
Oh, so you got the game ball in the locker room and stuff. Yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm sure. And then the last one from K. Stan is the handle. So Keyshawn Silver had a funny X post where he called you the wrestler Mark Henry.
Yes, sir.
What'd you think about that?
Man, me and Key go way back. Keyshawn always got jokes and everything for everyone in the room. So it's a little thing we got going on, but everyone got nicknames. Everyone got somebody that represents someone else. So, but that's our little joke in the room that he posted. So it's pretty cool.
When we talked to you back in April, you were just kind of figuring things out, going through spring football. Now you've been around the guys, through the whole summer, fall camp, and 3 games. It seems like the chemistry, with the defensive line, even with new people, has been good. Do you feel that way? It seems like you guys have bonded pretty well.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. With everyone being from somewhere else, we are clicking in as a brotherhood, and you can feel the energy throughout the whole team. Like Jada Mahava as our quarterback, he's being really vocal, talking to everyone. So we have John Ray Reed, we have Killian, like we have everyone. Like our team is really uniting and becoming strong as one.
Really nicely into this next question from So California, who wants to know, who are your best friends on the team?
I'm not gonna lie, the whole team I've packed. It's my brotherhood. I'll die about USC. Those are my brothers. They accepted me with open arms, and when we're on that field, you just feel the connection. Like we all want to see each other be great. So that's really our standard. Like everyone's pushing each other to be greater.
We kind of talked about this the last time you were on, but this is from Knife 938. He wants to know, as a recruit, what took you from North Carolina to Georgia, and then what caused you to leave Georgia for Southern California?
So really, like everyone was preaching the stay at home thing as far as North Carolina. And I feel like a lot of people didn't know I didn't really originate from North Carolina. So I wanted to kind of get away.
Oh,
And I drawn away from North Carolina to Georgia. I wanted to develop my game, my craft. Georgia's all about the fundamentals and stuff like that. So I was like, that's more of like a fundamental spot for me to develop. And then really it was just a betting on myself type of mindset that we talked about this before in the old podcast as well. But really just, seeing the type of player I am and knowing the type of player I could be and just really betting on myself and working with Coach Henderson as far as other things in my game that I feel like should improve. So SC was a great choice for me as well.
do you kind of keep up with North Carolina football? I mean, obviously the Bill Belichick thing is pretty crazy there now.
I have a lot of friends that play in the state still. I got Hollywood Smothers. I got Isaiah Shirley over there at NC State. He had a interception pick-6 too. So
Oh, wow.
the North Carolina group chat's going crazy right now, for sure.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. You said, Ja, that you've run faster in practice and you think you could have run faster in the game. Did you get an official mile per hour number on the touchdown return? That's from M. Conley 12.
Yeah, I believe I almost hit around almost 16 miles per hour. I think it was a little bit short under that. But the force I had behind it was like, yeah, it was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I believe Chad Bowden and Coach JP, Jack Polk, he does all our catapult and GPS numbers and stuff like that. He was like, I had a lot of force behind everything, and I was picking up a lot of speed.
That's pretty amazing because I think Tanook Hines has run the fastest this year at 23 miles an hour. And obviously you got a little bit of a different body type than he does. That's 16 is pretty close to 23. That's amazing.
I believe my highest I've ever hit was like 18.3,
Wow.
something like that. So yeah, I'd be moving for sure. So.
That was great. It was funny to see you raise the football and then realize, oh crap,
Yes,
don't do that. Because we've all seen the clips of the guy
was all
just
the work of Aunt Lucas right there. Anthony Lucas. He was like, I'm about to score. Aunt Lucas was like, put your hand down. I was like, yes, sir, I got you. So.
that was good that he was there because everyone's seen the guy drop it. At
6
the,
had
at
my
the
back
one.
though. The fans out there, number 6 had my back though. I'll tell you that. And then he made sure I crossed that line.
He gets an assist. That's awesome. SC Tets wants to know, how do you feel like the weather delay and then the wet field, did that contribute to the game at all? I didn't really think about the wetness of the field too, but I don't know if that was something that.
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of weird, y'all. Like, we had the little lightning strike, thunderstorm thing going on. And then when we got on the field, everything was cool. Like, everyone was really talking about how the field looked so good and how it was in a great condition. Like, it really didn't phase us at all. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it looked like from where we were, it didn't seem like people were slipping around or anything. So it didn't seem like the wetness was that big of a deal.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
C Viking 9 wants to know, how do you feel like your conditioning has improved since coming to USC?
Really just maintaining and keep we run after every practice. We make sure we do everything as far as from an accountability standpoint. But really, if you run in practice, you run to the bar in practice, you keep your wins up. So I just keep that trait going on.
Let's see. We had Irvine Trojan. What part of your game has improved the most since you started being coached by Coach Henderson?
I feel like I've gotten coming to SC alone. I feel like I've gotten stronger. I've gotten way stronger. I've been able to bend a little bit better. My hands are shooting a little bit more straighter. Like it's little things like that in the D lineman's game that showcase a lot in the game, and it's really been working for me. I feel like.
And the last one here is from our colleague Shotgun Spratling. So he takes photos on the field. And after you scored the touchdown, he noticed that there was a group of USC fans who gave you a standing ovation when you got back over to the defensive line section on the bench. Did you notice that? Did you give him a bow or anything, or were you just too locked in?
I'm not gonna lie. Half the time I'll be locked in. You know, our coach be like, focus on the field, eyes straight. But man, it was just great to hear all the fans and support from behind me. I was like, man.
Cool. We might have got a little freezing there. Well, it's a good time to freeze. I guess we're at the end of the interview. Are you there, Ja? Are we? That's a perfect piece out, I guess. You know, well, we didn't get we don't get the fight on still shot for the video, but great stuff from Jamaal Jarrett. We'll give him a second to see if he comes on. But that was a lot of fun, Connor. I mean, obviously, the last time we talked to him in April was great. Just great to see him, and just so much energy, and to have a massive play like that when you get limited snaps in the game, and you know, it didn't look like he was pressing or anything. He just got up there and, you know, made that play. It just, the ball comes to him and he just does the right thing and takes it out of the air and runs it in for a touchdown. Pretty crazy.
Totally agree. The fact that he only played, I think, 4 defensive snaps, you can't say he didn't make the most of them. He certainly maximized his opportunity, which in football, that's one of the most important things you can do. I don't know if he's coming back, Ryan, though.
It doesn't seem like it is. We got so yeah, we just got the still shot of him, but it's a great smile. We love it. That'll be like, I guess that'll be our capture shot with him smiling there as he gets frozen and the internets and goes off. But it was a really fun conversation with him. Again, want to thank House of Victory. We'll put it up here again. For the ultimate tailgate powered by the Rex Steakhouse. So it'll start at 5 p.m. on Saturday before the 8 p.m. kickoff for Michigan State. So USC was tweeting out and posting on social media asking people to get out there, wear Cardinal, and support the team even though it's a late tailgate. And I know that they're going to have a fun time with doing the tailgate. We love going to them. They're a lot of fun. And, make sure you go check it out. If you want to get tickets, houseofvictory.com/tailgate, and you can check it out. But yeah, we'll see you there. We'll be there probably like right at 5, I think, stopping in and getting a little food before we go into it's going to be a late night for us in the press box, but it's just one of those things. But unfortunately we lost, we lost Joe at the end, but he was great. Any last words, Connor, before we take off?
I love when we get a player and it's really topical. So couldn't have been a better time to speak with Joe after that big play. And it was great to hear all of his insights about it. So I'm excited for everyone to listen.
Yeah. Great stuff from Jamaal Jarrett. So I guess he dropped out there, but this is Ryan Abraham for Connor Morrissette. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we will talk to you